DeadInfested versus Elevate. This is a Zerg versus Zerg. Oh my gosh. Hold on. How long? Group B took a while. You know, we'll keep going. We'll take a break in about an hour, and we'll probably, hopefully, be able to get through a lot of things. So the game is up again. Who did I say was playing? It was DeadInfested versus someone. Because I think Garthis in chat was saying that they would join for their games. But regardless of if it's your games or not, you can join the RSL Game 1 voice channel to chat about the games, and you can watch, join the lobby on US West. The game name is RSL Cast, and the password is 123.
Yeah, Simo is hoping for some co-casters, and he's getting one German speaker and one Czech speaker, who are most of the game quiet. So
No, it
help
is.
me, guys.
I heard someone join.
Yeah, hold on. Who's in? Let me do a roll call. There's like 6 people in the Discord chat. Join the game.
I'm sorry if my English is too bad, but
No, you're absolutely fine.
my
Man.
first language.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. We're just here to enjoy some StarCraft. And
You can start without me. I just came to ask you if you would like to talk about your car's extended warranty.
Sure. If I'm able to extend the warranty via StarCraft games. God. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start and load this game up.
I just realized I was muted the entire time I was talking.
I kept looking over. I saw you like joining the game. I was like, oh, maybe it's just is. Oh my god, what is?
To be fair, I did go to make a salad, and I'm still eating it. So
That's fair. Eat it on screen. Get that nice food. ASM. Please don't actually.
no, it's just like I hold down the push to talk button. I'm like talking with food in my mouth. You just start hearing crunch, crunch, crunch.
All right. In the top right corner, we have Elevation in charge of the yellow Zerg brood.
In the bottom right corner, where the tail Zerg is DeadInfested. Don't worry,
so
I
have
won't
a
keep doing that.
purple and a tier 1. Am I watching the right game?
What?
I have a purple and a tier Zerg, not a yellow and a...
No, I had the colors set to the regular game colors, and because it's a, I guess they played a free-for-all, it is yellow versus yellow. But we'll switch back to the regular colors and have teal versus purple. Teal
You should just leave it and make it a guessing game for the viewers, like who is who.
Which I had pulled
like
up. I had pulled up the names, like the official names of all the different colors. DeadInfested is saying teal is the Fenris brood. I don't think dark purple was in the original game. So.
Is that yellow or is that lime?
I think it's
probably yellow, right?
Yellow, yeah. Lime is... There's so many weird colors that, like, in Brood War that look so similar.
But you can't pick them, right? I mean, if someone takes yellow, you can't pick lime and whatnot anymore.
Oh. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it grays them out. Purple is Jormungand. Yes.
It's only with certain settings. With different settings you can pick whatever, I think.
Alright, so it's looking pretty similar. There's a drone who was told to go mine gas, but he changed his purpose in life and decided not to. And yeah. Let's see, DeadInfested is going straight into Zergling speed and a bunch of Zerglings, while Elevation is getting a colony, probably going to be a sunken. But looks like a pretty similar build for both players.
DeadInfested Zerglings are later, right?
Actually, yeah, I think you are correct, yeah. They just popped. Ooh. Oh, DeadInfested is going for a very fast lair, so... And Elevation is not getting a equally fast expansion, so if Elevation is going to try and defend, but I don't think that's going to work out if DeadInfested can just get Mutalisks and run in, kill some drones and run out. In fact, 4 Zerglings are headed straight to the main, but with the Zerglings of Elevation surrounding the sunken colony, he should be just fine. Yep. Ooh, DeadInfested going for an expansion, but the drone does get killed.
I don't understand ZVZs. So what do evolution chambers in ZVZ?
Evolution chambers are for spore colonies to defend the Mutalisks. Yeah, so it's a weird tech thing where you only get them for that.
Because it's a requirement. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yep, and now DeadInfested Spire is going down.
Elevation has 500 gas, like better players, if they go for Zerglings, they pull drones off of gas.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like he also is wanting to go like one base Mutalisk, but he's just
Yeah, but he constantly has no minerals, so when I see this balance, I think it would be good to drones away.
If that drone died, that would have been... I mean, this has 7 and 8 drones.
And meanwhile, while I was talking about the drones in the gas, Elevation lost everything! Yay! And now, big army of green Zerglings is coming towards his base. Does he pull the drones? No, he doesn't. Now he does!
oh man, that has got to feel bad. DeadInfested is gonna clean up all the drones, take the first game of the group.
Oof, they die fast.
GG's. That's the kind of ZVZs we're looking for. Keep them coming.
To be honest, I would love to see some Terran games, but they tend to be long.
Yeah. Alright, now this is Garthis versus DeadInfested.
So fast I didn't even get to finish myself.
Alright, game is up. Just wait for everyone to filter on in.
I will be judging you harshly, Garthis.
I'm looking forward to it.
Garthis, I'm going to characterize every single thing you do as the best possible decision you could have made.
I'm gonna count out loud how many seconds your workers are idle.
That would be great.
Alright.
I don't think I'm going to join in the actual observation of the game, though. So you don't have to wait for me.
Okay. Then is everybody who is wanting to join in the game in the game?
No, I don't want to be
I
here.
don't know. I don't know.
Question. Well, we have a schedule to stick to, so we're going. Alright, in the top right corner, as the Sons of Korhal, the Red Terran, is Garthis, with the most perfect of SCV splits. Hey now, hey, oh, what's that?
And in the top left corner, we've got the Zerg and the Teal again. Is DeadInfested.
Here we go.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Had to do it to them. DeadInfested, this drone is, their first drone is having an existential crisis. As it tries to figure out what exactly, wait, is this a fort? Okay, DeadInfested, I was eating, okay. Makes perfect sense.
Well, that makes two of us.
Alright. Garthis, in a stroke of tactical brilliance, builds a supply depot. This will add 8 to his maximum total supply. Truly brilliant tactical move. No.
But what does Pot of
Holy
Greed
shit.
do?
Nobody knows what Pot of Greed is doing.
It's also perfectly placed so that way it pushes the spawn points slightly to the right.
My god. Garthis has that galaxy brain.
I mean, so far we see super clean macro from Garthis. You know, his build order is on point. He's basically Flash over here.
True. DeadInfested is getting 12 hatch. So. Hatch first. There's the chance that Garthis might be able to punish this if he makes unit. Well, actually, no, this is cross spawns. DeadInfested makes the objectively correct move.
Don't we have a speed limit in RSL? What's with that 8 p.m., man? Don't make me pull you over for speeding.
True. Hold on.
It's just spamming.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you're going over the APM limit.
I'll
I
have
need
that
50
on
minerals for that.
The posted
I
limit is
can have that
150.
again. But I won't do anything sensible with it, like selecting 2 things and then spamming 2 and 3 on my keyboard.
Just that 200 plus.
There's no excuse for breaking the law.
What if you're cranking Judas Priest really loud? It's acceptable then.
No.
Breaking the law! Breaking the law! Breaking the law! Breaking the law! Bow now 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 bow now 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 now.
Oh,
So we have
Come on, where's that gas
Wait a
deal?
minute. That's murder. That's against law.
it's fine. That's illegal. They
the
can't,
people
they
Wait a
can't
minute.
do it. It's
with guns
illegal.
around and shooting. This is not a safe working place.
This is
The
true.
SUVs will go on a strike.
They're massacring the local wildlife. This is.
I always kill the Rhinodons.
How could you?
Well, you
They're
select
trying-
attack and then you click on them.
My God, I never thought about it like that. So here comes 4 Zerglings. They are going to run up, see a bunker, and probably run away.
Or they could be a man and not run away.
True.
And run by, and by this I mean run away in the other direction.
Yeah. Garthis is gonna break out into the oil market. It looks pretty standard. Garthis is just going for bio. DeadInfested is going mudas. So yeah.
Bio? Disgusting. Where are the Goliaths?
They have missiles. Those should obviously be better than gun.
They don't use missiles on the ground though.
Oh, true. Damn. Got him.
Don't come near me,
don't
me or my siege tanks ever again.
I don't know if Goliath are really better, but I think Marines die really fast if you don't watch over them.
True. Oh my. Garthis is building an absolute fucking cluster of missile turrets. I don't know what missile turrets plural is, but they're in. I look over and there's six
Missile,
in the
Missile turrets.
Huh. Yeah, they're
I don't like it.
yeah, so four missile
Hey, can
turrets on each side of the mineral lines, 3 in the
Could you
expansion.
get mutas on top, a bit north of the barracks and kill the barracks then? I mean,
Yes.
probably the Marines will run up, but there's no missile turrets, right?
Yeah, so if the mutas could yeah, they could make just a straight beeline from like the mineral only base and head straight in.
Oh no, he's shooting one of his turrets
Oh
down
no.
because it blocked the scan.
I do that a lot.
You ever wonder if the man in the missile turret gets dizzy?
I never thought there would be someone in there because they don't cost supply.
No, but there is a man in the missile turret.
If you zoom in on it, it'll show.
Okay, I not in the carbot skin. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the carbot skin, sorry. That is true. I'm
Carbot
not
skin's
sure.
fun.
Yeah, it is I think the like legibility of it is really good. It
The wife said I could play with the kids around if I use Carbot.
Oh, nice.
I gotta get them started.
True. Need to get them into the next season of RSL.
And oldest is only 18 months, so he's got some time. But
True. Hey, it's never too early to start.
I'm trying to get him to pick a main. He hasn't yet.
Ooh, there's a huge clump of Marines here that are going to be completely ignored by this roving pack of Zerglings.
Yeah, and I remember this not being a.
Oh, no. Yeah, oh. Oh. Yeah, no. They're gonna get caught and get completely...
There's no medics like any.
Yeah, there's no medics. And just will rip them apart.
It's a lot of dead
Medic!
Marines. Doctor.
Yeah, it's always surprising how much more survivable medics, like a marine medic thing.
Should have went Mac.
And honestly,
Cap.
with like 10 mutalisks and only this much bioforce, it's like, yeah, Garthis or DeadInfested can kind of just move into the expansion and do way more damage than they have any right to do. They lose a lot of mutalisks.
Or something like this. Just kill the marines and the medics and then the barracks. it should be a lot of damage already.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you make the heretical units.
And that one Zergling chipping away on the turret.
Luckily he is gonna get, the Zergling will only get one turret killed, so that could have gone a lot worse for Garthis.
Yeah.
But DeadInfested got a lot of damage done, and now with the Lurker follow-up attack, oof.
Well, Zerg is still sitting on only 19 drones.
Oh wow, actually that's insane. Yeah, never mind. Not dying there is really good for Garthis then, because his economy is a whole lot better. He just needs to use that money. So right now that
I
is
definitely struggle on the macro. It's just so many Marines you have to make.
yeah. I think you could probably go up to 8 barracks off of this, honestly.
And this time you have medics, so it's neat.
Can we see if there's a lot of Q?
Oh, there's
Big
nothing
move
to
out
do.
coming from the Zerg with a bunch of lurkers and lings.
Yep.
They're gonna get, some of them are getting caught by these Marines though.
And then the Lurkers are gonna burrow and they're gonna start. The scan goes down and he tries to fight the Lurkers. He gets one, he gets two.
It's really tricky. You
I
cannot-
think our man Ice Cube once said, "Chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself."
kind of
That is sage
Nope.
advice, because
I hate workers.
Garthis is currently getting checked by Lurkers instead of himself.
Well, he has so much money, he could just queue up all of his barracks and still have minerals left over.
That is true.
probably
That's what
better
I
than
do
not
in this kind of
producing.
situation. Go unga bunga.
Just queue up. I mean, if you have the money, just queue up stuff, and then you will produce.
See this? And Terran's really cry that TVP is hard. Oh no.
PvP is hard.
Yes, I do.
Isn't TVZ supposed to be the easy matchup for Terran? So I hear, anyway.
It's my worst matchup.
Yeah, I feel like if you say that, the Terran response is the Terran has no easy matchups.
Well, as a Terran player, I agree. Yeah, no.
Oof. DeadInfested tries to make a lurker
No, I just-
attack work, but loses pretty much most of his army. And
Yeah, it's kind of. I
yeah,
think it's kind of hard to engage into Marines with the lurkers, but the other way around also.
yeah. I mean, DeadInfested has spent most of their time teching up, so the Defilers are about to be out, but Garthis has a pretty strong force that he can kind of just move out.
I mean, as a great man once said, look at the supply.
The supply
The supply does not lie.
does not.
Terran needs science vessels if they want to push up the ramp.
Like, now imagine if that 3k was Marines, he'd just be like,
Consume is done
near maxed
before-
out.
Before the Marines are there, then you won't break that base.
Vessel production has started, so he will have those. I think the big
I don't
question
think
is,
know the top right base is there.
you don't think he knows about? It's actually
I didn't. It was me. I didn't know it was there.
okay.
So consume is done, so now Marines won't break any base anymore.
Nope. He's gonna have to try to
Basically.
drain it, and there's a lot of just Zerglings burrowed outside the main base. I assume waiting for Garthis to try and push.
I feel like there's enough Marines, the moment they unburrow, they're all gonna die.
It does seem like that,
It
but
depends on if there are. I mean, there are dark swarms available, right? Marines don't do that much in Dark Swarms.
Well, nothing, but
They do a lot of dying.
that is true. They do die.
True.
That is one thing they're talented at doing under Dark Swarms. But that doesn't make them special. A lot of units are great at dying under Dark Swarms.
Nope.
And then they're just gonna avoid the Dark Swarm.
Yeah, DeadInfested is gonna try to push
Second
that.
Dark Swarm.
Damn tank's good at it.
That is
I mean, the tank at least does some damage because the gas splash still exists.
that is a
So you
lot of orange
resource-
cloud. That is a real big vape cloud.
I was gonna say fart gas, but you know, whatever you want. I mean, it's big and orange.
Fair.
Aren't vape clouds normally just, you know, big white clouds?
Garfield.
55 life basically endless energy, right?
Yep, as long as he keeps making Zerglings, which he looks like he does not want to stop.
I mean, they can eat basically anything, but it will get less cost efficient.
The fiber's OP.
True.
Somebody said that Terran players are made on assault. That's what I said that.
It was NCX, and he's not wrong.
He's not. I mean, when I told this group on that. You know,
I mean, we're all Terrans here, even if you play different races. I'm pretty sure if you sweat, you lick yourself, it'll taste salty.
and it's very true as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know how to push into these dark swarms, which is struggling.
Now you just take that, and then if you're a Terran player, that gets multiplied because you actually want to play Terran, which means you hate yourself and you're gonna be salty as fuck now.
It's fair. Yeah, so looking at I'm actually in an okay spot. I didn't know how to
See,
push
if
the
you're Zerg
dark wall.
Protoss, you at least hide how salty you are a little. If you're Terran, you're blatant about it.
It's fair.
But Terran has no really good. I mean, but what should Terran build? I mean, they don't have enough good close fighters. I mean, they can build like. I mean, they only have one, right?
I mean,
Like fire bats, and then
yeah, 4 fire bats
it.
would kind of completely end DeadInfested strategy here. Because he's only fighting with
Yeah.
Zerglings.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't know what to do here. It's like, it looks like I'm in an okay spot. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, you actually are in like probably a way better spot than DeadInfested is at the moment.
I think it's just the worker count.
Yeah, did he double? Okay, he did not double irradiate on the fire, so yeah. Another radiates out with the fire counts.
Ooh, and the
Really
plague.
fortunate.
Then he got rid of the fire. I think that. Yeah. Seeing where we're at makes me feel okay though. So I'm playing this game already. I thought I was playing real poorly. I'm acting poorly though. But I just need 20 more barracks. I'll probably call it good.
Yeah, basically,
I think I just
playing
found
this
the
pretty
yeah, I
well,
found
it's
the
just
top
your
right base.
macro was a little off.
And now I finally found the right base. Top
There
right.
you go.
And then this is where I just throw too many units up the ramp there.
Yeah, this is a situation where you just want to irradiate the infested. Oh, eraser.
Ah,
Very cool. now DeadInfested only has 15 drones.
And then this is where I learned something new, that you can't, if things are you can't use the eraser. So it didn't work. I tried to do it on those workers, but it didn't work.
I think
doesn't
instead
work,
of
right?
the eraser, it might have been better to just
Irradiate them.
the lurkers.
Yeah, I thought about that afterwards. I don't know if I had noticed that they were there.
Giant
Like,
zergling
The moment
stream.
you get up the lurkers, you can just go kill the workers anyway with your.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Darkers on the Dark Swarm are basically invincible because they don't get splash if they're bird, and they don't get damage because Dark Swarm, and then
Yeah, this counterattack
Ooh,
is
that-
looking like it's going to.
15 drones, by the way.
Yeah, 15 drones, by the way.
yeah,
This is well,
So,
when you have Dark Swarm, magic happens. Oh, when you have Dark
In-
Swarm and Ultralisks.
As a salty Terran,
Supply does not lie unless it's Zerg, in which case it lies literally all the time.
but yeah, I was gonna say, as a salty Terran, it feels like Zerg can just make a billion units on like no drones all the time.
This-
Yes, as a salty Protoss, this is true. Oh, we have some
at least
infighting
there's
here.
one traitor. There's one traitor actually.
Well,
He,
you see, when I said the
He got
supply
hit by
doesn't
the other
lie,
Ultralisk's imp fireball and was like, oh. Fire's so good.
when I said the supply doesn't lie, that's when the Zerg was at 60 supply and Garthis was at 130.
Sure, make excuses.
I'm a Terran player, alright? Excuses are my specialty.
After watching that game, I feel a little bit better about it.
Right.
I got wrecked, but I
Next
played it.
game. DeadInfested
I'm-
for the 3-peat versus Imp.
I was kind of happy that there was no Zerg in my group.
Must be nice.
Our group was 2 Terrans and 2 Zergs.
Oh jeez.
We didn't have any Protoss.
We had two Terrans and 2 Protosses.
Easyos in the chat says Defiler is the big dude at the party who pisses on the floor. Is this an would we all agree that this is an accurate assessment of what Defiler is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Flipendo says no. He is a Defiler apologist. Oh, the one with Ultra. Wait, just a little bit left. Come on.
I mean, everyone who's observing is either Terran or Protoss, right?
I think so. I don't know. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I think
Nerfingen's Terran, I'm Terran, Flipendo's Protoss, and Simo's Protoss.
Characters Terran.
This is why we're shitting on the Zerg so hard now.
True. Yeah, Zerg players really need to send an envoy here to you know, start making excuses for their race. But
It's hard to make excuses about the Filers.
true.
Everyone knows their bullshit.
My thoughts about TVZ are that Terran kind of needs to pressure Zerg the whole time. If you let them be, they kind of explode. And it's really hard on lower levels to have the time to do your own things and pressure your opponent. And then
Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely Terran has to play contain. Like, Zerg always has to have the threat that they're gonna lose a base to Terran, because if they don't, they get 3 gases and get defilers and map control and can do whatever they want. Because the Terran army is a lot slower than the Zerg army, they have to basically force the Zerg to be where the Terran wants them to be by threatening bases. Imp has flash APM at 300? Nah. That's maybe. Half a flash.
Yes, the well-known pro player, maybe. That's maybe APM.
Oh, it's flash at 20 minutes. In the top right corner, we have. I don't know why the chat really likes trying to flag creep. Top right corner we have the hot pink Zerg brood led by DeadInfested. And in the bottom left corner we have the Ami Imp leading the Kelmorian Combine Teal Terran on Eclipse.
Interesting fact, what nobody cares about. Every time we played this group, if you go outside, it's yellow.
It's just free for all every game.
Here we go. The yellow Terran versus the yellow Zerg.
Yeah, but when you go alt tab, it should still be randomized colors now, not yellow.
So the shift tab thing is it does its team colors. So if you make a free for all game, it auto assigns everyone yellow in their team. Like if you make top versus bottom, it should be like a red and blue.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Now I will go straight to B.
So,
and what?
and the
And we have
Zerg's
again
gonna
the
gas.
gas steal.
The gas steal.
I'm not
It's
sure if this is this bad in a TVZ because
some new meta.
if you go Marines,
Also,
I feel
they
like
are not that gas hungry.
the only reason you want to do this is you're like, please,
no.
please, I don't want to play mech. I'll sacrifice a drone. Just don't play mech.
Imp was gonna go command center first, and now there's a bunch of Zerglings running at his base. And he
Dear
doesn't have the
God.
bunker. He has 1 Marine.
But he knows it's
Yeah.
coming. He's got all the SCVs like surrounding this marine.
Right, so the question is he
Yeah.
going to be able to
I mean, then he
Zerglings?
has a second Marine, but he is
Nope.
firing.
Okay.
He's doing a good job.
Okay, very nice. But now 4 more Zerglings are coming, so it's gonna be.
Yeah, but he's gonna have more marines out. Like, he'll be fine.
It looks like DeadInfested is really committing to this.
Oh,
He's
no.
not getting any more drones. He's just going mass Zergling, and he's gonna try. Ooh,
Oh,
there's
no.
Zerglings
Oh,
that are
no.
stored in the pocket of his base.
It's the worst
I spoke
timing.
too soon.
No.
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 Imp thought DeadInfested had completely backed
No.
up and went to build his bunker. Yeah.
If he had the SCB still at the ramp and he sent his marines over, he would have been fine.
Yeah, but now this is gonna be
Oh.
a
That-
GG.
That feels bad, man.
The
Just
single
G.
G. The single just
Honestly,
good.
I was gonna say, I know Imp was on Amigos and CPL 6,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure he was playing Zerg then, and the only time he played Terran was when I couldn't play because and he had to fill in for me. So yeah, fun fact
He
that
might be
nobody
trying
cares
out-
about.
He might be trying out Terran in RSL. No
He plays
lower
Zerg all
grades.
13 people.
DeadInfested 3-0, damn.
So
Wait,
Yeah,
is DeadInfested 3-0?
Yeah, he went 3-0.
Nice. That means, yeah, that means I think it's impossible for there to be a tiebreaker in this group unless two people
No,
get two
no.
win. Actually, no, yeah, it's impossible for there to be a tiebreaker in the group.
No, no.
No,
Also-
If one goes 3-0 and you don't nothing else, then what could happen is that the other three all have 1 win and 2 losses, right?
Oh, true.
And then
mean-
you have a tiebreak around the other guy that advances.
It was basically what happened in the last group.
Hmm.
So,
I see.
speaking of Dead Infested 3-0, not that anybody cares, but I'm gonna go on about it anyway. The last time I played Dead Infested was in a best of 5, and he 3-0'd me with every single race.
Damn. That must have been a pretty. Not only is he better at you, he's just better at you at StarCraft. Like, I think he pretty much solidly
Well-
just proves he's just better.
It wasn't normal melee games though. It was on a use map settings map where you got infested Terrans, and you know, I have Vietnam flashbacks of the infested Terran drops in my bases,
That just
and
sounds
also
like,
getting nuked.
That just sounds like peak StarCraft. Alright.
There were just 3 long games of me getting destroyed.
Characters joined the game. Character has left the game. What?
Not that anybody cares, but when we mention 3-0, we should also mention 0-3, and Group A is special because that is the only group where there is an 0-3 player.
Oh.
But not only that, after
They're
3
gonna
0
be
me,
that player's gonna be a lower bracket champion. Anyways, yes, continue. Sorry.
oh, I was gonna say after 3 0 me, he's like, he wanted a rematch. I'm like, dude, you just 3 0'd me with every race, and you want the rematch? Why?
It always feels it just I'm sure 99% of the time it does it's not meant to be like sarcastic or rude or anything, but whenever like you lose and you lose like really badly and your opponent asks for a rematch, it just feels terrible.
Yeah.
Elevation, I like.
Well, the thing is,
Mhm.
that's the thing too, is like none of the games were close. He just like crushed me every game, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna rematch you.
Alright. On the left-hand top left corner, we have Elevation as the dark purple Zerg. In the top right corner.
And on
Oh, yeah.
the
go.
right hand top right corner. I just need to...
Garthis, the
beige.
beige Terran.
I mean, I guess it's kind of, it's a bit more pink-ish, but
I can see pink, but wait, no, this is the light pink color, I'm pretty sure. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't look pink at all.
you can tell it's light pink because it doesn't look pink at all. Aw, yeah.
It's kind of a peach color.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a good color. I like it. That SMU was idle for like a minute, like a full second almost.
Yeah.
I don't know what his problem was.
There was a rainbow color. Oof.
And not only is it rainbow, it's just like all the colored bits on the buildings are like animated. So it's doing this like rainbow wave.
Looks like an RGB. It just looks like a expensive gamer PC, and it's just
Yeah, exactly. It's like Only the real gamers pick that color.
I have a question because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Why would you go scout diagonally as Terran?
It wasn't a good call. The reason I did it was that I'm used to doing it with Protoss to check for proxies, so I think I just naturally did it that way. So yeah, it's not a good call. I don't know why.
Okay, so I just wanted to know because
Yeah, I'm
I
used
don't
to.
know much about this thing.
If it's not TVZ, I typically go cross scout because that way you'd find any proxies in the middle of the map. But I don't know why I did it against her.
Yeah, also just sometimes build
You
like
can also just go to the middle. It doesn't need to be
people
correctly
Rex things
cross-spawn.
versus Zerg because Zealot flashbacks.
So Garthis.
By the way,
is,
lair going up, so
yeah, Garthis is also
probably
getting a command center without the bunker set up. He actually only has
But-
one marine, but he goes.
And
He's
for
going
Zealots,
mech.
he likes living life on the edge.
Yeah.
Literally the very first time I've ever gone back. Like I learned it and tried it once against the computer before this game.
Oh, nice.
So it's not going to go 100% smooth. A
Yeah.
little bit of a spoiler.
Well, vultures do beat zerglings, so you're at least safe from that. But they might. It looks like they're gonna get your SCV though. Yep.
And I don't notice it.
And then the vultures will clean up a little bit. Dangerously close on that one vulture.
Yeah, and you need to micro, and it's kind of hard with speed weapons, but it's okay.
So elevation's going hydralisks. Yeah, so that might work. Actually, no, that's kind of terrible because of siege tanks, right?
If the Zerg goes Hydralisk, you want to switch. You want to get some siege tanks
Yeah.
quicker than you normally would. I've only gotten back a total of 4 times. I'll say that.
Oh, but the command center isn't good.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even realize it could be SCV. I was like panicking at this point because this is my first time going back, and I was not smooth at all.
Mm.
But, at some point, I do notice, and I was like, "Oh, that's embarrassing."
Elevation's cat.
So he had to pause because his cat jumped on the keyboard,
Ah.
and that actually.
I think we need to pause for 5 minutes so we can have immersion for immersion purposes. Otherwise, my immersion is broken and the cast is unplayable, unwatchable. I mean,
Yep. And then you know what? That is fine.
that is the price you're willing to
That
pay.
is the price I'm willing to pay. Because oh my god,
Because, like,
another
it's-
SCV.
Yeah.
Cat just jumps on the keyboard, cancels the spire, like. No.
That would be grounds to restart, I think.
Well, if that's true, next time I cancel my factory by accident, I'll be like, cat,
Cat.
and then tell no one that I don't actually own a cat. Like,
Happened again.
All right, man. The cat really is the cat APM for this game is insane.
The cat actually it really screwed him over because I was like panicking, and then giving that time to pause gave me time to like recoup myself.
Wow.
So otherwise, I was really not doing well.
Yeah. Well, if Elevation
Right.
is seeing this, then they need to know that their cat is
Him and I already talked about it.
okay.
hey, I don't mean it seriously. I'm always taking the piss, but I'm sure his cat actually jumped up on the keyboard.
Oh, absolutely.
He told
Not
me ahead
jumped
of
up on the
time.
keyboard, but I mean,
Yeah.
not jumped up on the keyboard, but I'm sure he had to actually take care of his cat.
Yeah, he told me ahead
I
of time that his cat may jump on the keyboard because it was in the room with him.
Ah.
So we had a plan for what we would do if it happened.
But I always just say random shit, and a lot of times it just sounds like I'm being a sarcastic asshole and I'm always taking the piss, but a lot of times I don't mean anything. Like,
Elevation, I actually had to play 3 games because I disconnected game 1. And then and then he offered me a regame, which was very nice. So then when I beat him game 2, I offered him a regame. So we ended up playing 3.
And this is the third
Which is
game?
the reason. This is the 3rd game.
Okay.
That's the reason why I chose to go next.
How'd the first 2 games go?
Well, the first game I disconnected at about like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Right before we were about to engage. But the rules state 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, I disqualified. So he offered me a regame. I beat him in game 2 with Bio, and then I learned him back with game 3 to try to throw him off.
Alright. So this is a pretty scary Goliath push here. But I think the Sunkens should probably be enough to make this unengageable for...
A lot of damage with Goliath. Do you see how fast?
Yeah.
One is dead, one died already.
Sunkens do the full 40.
I feel like I'm watching PvZ, except the Terrans, the Zerg, and those Goliaths are like Hydralisks.
And my whole position wasn't working very well. Because I kept going back. I think I was probably pushing the wrong button.
It's 9 mins and still 2 hatch. Yeah, Elevation seems really all in here. Or, yeah, they have, it seems, their supply lead is, or they don't have a supply lead, they're really far behind, and yeah, it doesn't look good. He's going to be able to build the Sunkens and hold for a little bit, but once the siege tanks start coming out and are able to take the Sunkens out from a safe distance, it's going to be really awkward.
I think I might have forgot siege mount.
We got 1 armor first. Why did you get the armor upgrade?
Because that's the build.
You take armor first, and then you do the first push out with about 12 Goliaths when armor is completed, and then you immediately go into weapons and try to go for more of a finishing push.
Yeah, you go for, it starts out 3 fact, and then you're supposed to add on 2 more facts, and you go 5 facts.
With 1-1. My build wasn't very clean, but that's the goal.
Yeah, it looks like it's working pretty well though. I mean, a lot of Mutalisks are coming out, but that is a lot of Goliaths.
What I'm on. This is an honest question. What's the reasoning behind going for the armor upgrade first? I mean, there must be a reason for it.
I think that armor is better when you're going against Zerg. And the way, I don't know 100% the reasoning, but I think because Zerglings are going to be, you're going to have more Zerglings than you have Goliaths. So I think the armor has to be better when you have the less units.
Yeah. Zerg, just as a race, has a lot of really, like, if you think about Zerglings and Mutalisks, both of those do a lot of attacks with very little damage, and so every armor upgrade you get, it is just that much more effective, right?
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah, when you have less units and they have more, they're going to hit you more. And so you're going to get, every single time they hit you, you get a benefit from the armor and you get that. That's why I was thinking that.
There's some Mutalisks in the mineral line, but they're just going to be allowed to free roam a little bit while Garthis focuses on his push, and it looks like Garthis, you're just going to steamroll the national expansion at this point.
There is this 3 muta counterattack though on the main.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter much, but it's there.
I mean, for 3 mutas, it's getting a lot more damage done than it probably should. So if Garthis, or so if Elevation does find some way to stay in the game, it might help, but I think mostly it just looks like...
So over.
The build calls to actually ignore the mutas and continue, like, not completely ignore them, but they have to. You're gonna do more damage to their base in the amount of time they're gonna do yours.
Oof, you hate to see that if the tank blocks the ram and sieges
Yeah.
over the ram. Happens to me all the time. And then everybody runs around behind them in circles.
Yeah. SimCity here isn't super effective. A lot of the Goliaths are being popped up into this little pocket here between the factory and the refinery. But,
You know, tank circles are like crop circles. It's signals for the aliens to come.
The SUV is a baller.
that's a dead main.
I hate to see it. Except for when it's me. Then I kind of enjoy it.
Elevation is pulling the classic move of saying, I still have bases, so thus I'm
Come
still
and
in
find
the
me.
game.
he did this on our second game too.
We started this.
Made me track down 2 bases.
Fast enough before before the what's this layer falls.
For the
So I
spider.
just have to scan around and look for it. Yeah, he's trying to rebuild the spider.
There's a spire in the bottom left, which he started before the
Yeah, the
spawn.
SUV is up there.
Not that this matters anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen this
I don't
movie
think-
before. I know how it ends.
that's the game, Garthis. It's pretty cool. So here's how Elevation can still win. Still in it, folks. GG. It's the game called Garthis Takes that game. Alright. That was a good... I think for your first time going mech against someone, that was pretty good. Pretty good
Yeah, if
execution.
we didn't have the pause, I probably would have spiraled a little bit though.
True.
It was because I was a little off.
Yeah.
We got there.
I mean, mental state is so important in a lot of these games where, like, if you're tilted or not calm in any way, it just kind of transfers over to how you're playing.
My factory placement was pretty poor as well. I had a bunch of stuck Goliaths.
Yeah, I did
They
see
didn't
that.
fully get stuck, but they kind of started acting weird. And I have no idea why I put them up there. Because when I play TVP, I never put them up there. So I don't know what I was doing. I think maybe I was thinking I would hide them back there. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I just like back them. So Match Bullet gave me that build about 4 hours before I played. And then I practiced against the computer once, and then we went for it. So it worked out pretty well.
I play I think the game is also called in English Go or Baduk or something like this. And I heard a profi say in the opening, if other pros take that long time, they don't read the opening, they know what they're doing. It's more meditation and get into the right mental state to play, because if you're not, you'll just lose.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about premeditation?
Flash just rolls up with the fucking gun into ASL. Maps can't be like Terran favored now, can they?
Maps can't outsmart Bullet.
Alright. In the bottom
I
left.
recently learned that in the bottom left, if you mine the mineral patch, download from the hatchery from the side, it mines a bit faster because your worker won't run in a straight line down and up again, and not this curved thing.
Oh. That's kind of
mean-
that is very interesting, huh?
Doesn't make much of a difference, but a tiny small incy bit.
Every little bit counts. So we have Elevation from our previous game versus Amigos Imp. Top right. Another Terran versus Zerg.
Hey guys, I just came back. Which group are we?
We're in C.
See.
We're
There's
on
2 games
game
left.
4.
Yeah, Group C
Okay.
goes a lot faster than A and B,
Z.
at least.
Okay. Group C should be quick.
I think
No time. Tiebreakers really.
Magic Bullet.
Suddenly quiet.
Yeah.
Too quiet.
Well, the Zergling's gonna get some harass. We're gonna see if it's gonna be a hero Zergling and kill an SCV. Nope, it's gonna
Uh,
gas steal. Ooh, what?
Oh, you mean the drone, not Zergling. Oh, gas steal.
Gas steal.
And
Oh,
Is
And
Elevation
the Terran goes scout.
gas stealed every TVZ.
I don't think he gas. Did he gas steal me on the last game? I don't think he did.
He did gas steal Garthis, yeah.
I've seen more gas steals from the Zergs than the Protoss
It's
from
crazy.
the matches I saw.
Oh yeah, he did gas steal me because I remember seeing it. You know, like, oh, I didn't know it healed this. I thought it maybe healed the drone. I remember seeing it.
I don't know.
The craziest
just
gas
like-
steal was the ZVZ gas steal.
I know, yeah, like, I don't know if there's a coach and there's looking at, like, the Zerg help on RSL that's telling everyone to gas steal or what.
Trigger Terrans with this one simple trick.
They get Protoss flashbacked immediately and leave. Free win.
Free win.
The weird thing about a TBZ gas steal is that like most Terrans do a gasless expand, and like you're going bio.
Yeah, you just get
So
the
you just
gas and
expand anyway, so you just take the gas to the natural.
yeah.
Maybe they just fear the mech play that badly. You're like,
Yeah,
mech is
it was
imba.
messed up back,
Hey,
but,
mech.
Yeah, like Magic Bullet said, it's like you don't take it until later, like pretty late at TBZ if you're going bio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but if you just want to make really sure they won't go mech, then gas steal might be, if it's worth
way
your
to do it.
drone, to really make sure that this is not a mech opener, then
Yeah, because Mech takes the gas at 12.
yep.
I mean, I guess if the Zerg really hates playing against mech, they can
Kind of forces it, I suppose.
yeah.
Couldn't they cancel it and then redo it again, and then just cancel it and then leave with the drone, or attempt to?
I feel like when you're done doing that, they'll have a marine out, and they'll be able to kill the drone if it tries to run away. So they
Yeah,
might be.
that's a good point.
Yeah, they might be accepting that the drone is going to die anyways, and just taking the 25 minerals to play mind games.
Which is annoying.
True. Right, Elevation checking to see if there's a sneaky third expansion at 4 minutes.
Theoretically possible, but I think then the Marine, then if this would be the case, then we would be in the Zerglings also would really surely just walk in.
Oh,
There
trying to
would
run
be,
by,
like,
but
no
just get
SCVs.
one runs by.
Zerglin with 7 HP.
Get chased by
Yeah,
4
just man up SCB and take it.
The Marines began to execute an SCV for treason, but they let him live.
Yeah, it happens. Misclicks happen.
Yeah.
Alright, Elevation is getting his sort of line of sunken colonies up, so he's pretty prepared for the usual bio push that comes out with this army.
And you have a Hydrodis then again, and no Spire.
Huh. I guess he just wants to go for really fast lurkers, since he sees bio, and then maybe he can
Yeah, it's good.
get a
Lurkers
win by...
started.
Oh,
I mean, it's
all the drones going into colonies.
Yeah,
Right now.
that's... and an evolution chamber right at the front, so...
all the
Oh, you dumb medic! I didn't tell you.
Oh. Oh. He morphs the evolution chamber and colony just to scare Imp away from being able to attack, and then Imp just for free.
Yeah, lurkers are, I think, tricky for both. You can really fast lose your lurkers to marines, but you can also really fast lose your marines to lurkers.
I mean, Imp's prepared for pretty much all of it because he has his academy and his comsat stations. Turrets are set up.
But even then, if you run into barrack lurkers, even if you scan before, you can still lose your marines really fast. They just walk in a stupid line or something, then... Yeah. But on the other hand, if you catch them unburrowed, the lurkers just die really fast. If you stim. It's tricky for both, I think, to play around lurkers. And it's, I mean, I'm really new. I don't know. This is just how the few games I played.
No, you have it pretty much on the nose, yeah. Marine DPS is insanely like stimmed Marine DPS is insanely fast. So yeah, if they get it's possible for them to get a good engagement against lurkers and just tear through them.
I think Stim Marines are like the highest DPS output of anything, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know about cracklings.
Yeah.
I thought they were slightly above.
No, don't run off the ramp in a conga line.
High ground
no.
lurker.
No!
Oh my god.
Conga.
I hate workers so much.
Oh my god.
And now
yeah.
the scan. To
9
confirm
kills.
that the lurker is
He goes,
really
wait a minute, how did
lurker.
all my Marines die? Is there a lurker there? Scan.
And now he goes and sacrifices a medic to the lurker. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay.
It's the Battle of Clendoth.
Yeah, the conga line of death. The ramp into a lurker. I hate these situations so much. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. And now with all those Marines dead, I was gonna say that it looks like Zerglings might be able to run up and deny the third. That's still a possibility. Yeah, one's gonna get up there and probably kill the SCV.
Or maybe not, because it's... Oh, maybe it... No, it does.
Here goes.
It lives with 2 lives. I mean, no, it has 3 and 4, because it's like redundant.
Oh, but now the Mulisks are coming. There's 2 Ooh, this is a great muta control here.
If you get your medic ball together, then Mutilus
Another lone
don't
muta.
have problems.
Ooh. These Marines look like they might be trying to move across the middle of the map, but there is a lurker there.
But the Lurklings are bros and chasing them away before they run into the Lurkling.
True. So the Zerglings are watching. These are traitors.
Right, so moving around the high ground. Not trying to go against that lurker.
I think that's pretty smart. You know, you don't want to engage up the high ground if you don't have to.
But this Marine Force only has 1 medic.
Yeah.
Or
Hopefully they will be enough for the single high ground lurker. Oh, there he goes, stems, and then
oh no, again the conga line.
Oh god. He already took half the group.
thank you for coming to my TED talk on high ground mischance. That is insane.
Oh my god.
And all the Marines start to form a conga line on the ramp, and then the spines just murder. In this lurk has 21 kills.
Yeah, elevation as a Zerg is above in supply, and I don't think that's supposed to happen. Now you see my Terrans don't have side powers yet. True.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
So-
you cannot really do anything against this ramp until you have something like vessels and
Yeah.
irradiate or tanks or something like that.
Well, he's getting
Oh,
a
now the
radiant,
harass on the turret.
so
I mean,
side
what you can
vessels are
also do, I
coming.
think, is
And
defensive maybe you can defensive matrix 1 Marine run by with it, so the lurker will target that Marine and then ward after the other one. So then you also need vessels, but
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I mean, elevation takes out a lot of, pretty much the entire SCV line at the 3rd. With
Yeah,
12
with
meters,
those
that's
medics.
enough to kill this group of Marines.
yeah, without medic support, yeah, easily.
Oh, he's just trying to focus. Oh, the command center's gonna burn down. From the looks of it, unless Imp
Yeah.
notices and sends some SCVs to repair, but looks like he's
I mean,
more.
they are too near it, right? I mean, they would be enough to save it, at least.
Ooh. 8, 7,
If they would now
6,
start to repair, it would
3,
live.
2, 1, and then
And that.
yeah, and that is about also 3 SCVs queued up. These mutas are running wild on Imp's base mineral line and just him in general. He seems to have some indecision about what these mutalisks that were in behind the mineral line were going to do, and took a lot of free shots from the missile turrets that he didn't need.
I mean, you can do basically anything else except for these few workers, but even getting a starport or the barracks or the science facility or anything with them is huge.
It looks like they decided on the starport, and Imp is making the call to try and turn this into a base race instead of getting rid of the mutalisks in his main, which when there's 4 sunken colonies and lurkers and mutalisks running around, I don't think that's a good call.
The starport will also run down if it's not burn down if it's not repaired.
No. Yeah. It feels like elevation is dragging Imp's attention everywhere all over.
Oh
the
no.
map.
He targets the overlords at the Sterlings.
No. And that's the GG. Elevation takes the game, so they are now up 1.
And the conga line death lurkers almost at full health again.
Oh no. Well, I need to see how many kills that lurker has. 21.
One.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you can break this without tanks or vessels.
I'm back. Did I miss the Imba Zerg game?
Yes. As I
The Imba Lurker high ground game.
yeah, a lurker got 21 kills on the high ground. It was disgusting. Alright. We're going to cast the last game of Group C, and then we're going to take a quick, maybe 20-minute break before we go on, because we'll have been casting this for, or I will have been up in here for 8 hours, so I'm going to need
You're doing great.
a bit of a rest.
I
You'll
entered
have to. Sorry.
Group A somewhere when I played.
You'll have to excuse me, I'm not at my best. Gone for a week.
Alright, 8 hours, yeah. I started this at 10 a.m. where I am at, and it is now 6:30. So, the character's been
I
drunk
think I
since
missed
he left.
the first games or so.
Those are the lyrics. I'm totally sober.
I'm not sure
Well,
if I believe
so
We had
far.
TVT.
Oh no. Alright guys, you know what? I'm just gonna go on break. Here you go. I'm just gonna put the
Yeah.
camera here and it should catch some Terran. Alright, it's been a lot of fun.
It's like you'll know the game is
TV
over
stream.
when there's siege tanks in the other person's base, like
Oh
in a
no.
billion dropships.
Garthis activated power overwhelming and Imp didn't catch it. Oh no. He's gonna win.
I need all the help I can get.
For some reason, misspelling just there just makes that perfect. I just said a cheat code.
I mean, we had already a TVT, and it was the shortest, or at least one of the shortest game in Group A. Because I fucked it up and just lost 3 tanks.
Black sheep wall. Oh no.
Black Sheep Wall is a good one. It's very helpful on TVT. There is no color. Oh,
I'll just win the game.
But Radio Free Zerg, does it work if you are not a Zerg?
No.
Radio Free Zerg should work in multiplayer.
is that actually?
Yeah, but
I don't really know what that one does.
It plays the Radio Free Zerg remix.
Oh, okay.
but does it work if you're not Zerg?
Alright, TVT's over. Game over, man. Game over.
Isn't there like, since you can now like zoom out completely the entire map on a spectator mode, isn't there a cheat for doing so in a game?
I actually think so, yeah. If you're playing single player.
Like,
So-
imagine if you had that on a TVT.
Oh my gosh, you'd be able to. I mean, you would just
See,
start the game full zoom out and then just play like that, right? However, I can't see the
Yeah.
bottom corner of the screen fully zoomed out. Like, the base is just completely obscured.
Building walls might be tough.
but this is only in the replay thing, and I think it's an awful design decision.
Yeah.
I think in the game, the map actually pans above your menu and stuff, but in the replay thing, it overlays them, and I don't know why. I think it's a terrible design decision, but it's like it is.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward because if like something was happening in the space and we zoomed out, we wouldn't be able to see it.
Even if someone builds, even if you're in normal zoom, and then someone builds something in the bottom left of its base in the corner, you have the map in the
So Imp is going. Was this command center first?
Yeah, it was a 14 CC. He went really quick.
That's seems like it'll be
Ballsy.
pretty risky. Being as how Garthis is gonna have his factory up kind of at the same time Imps is just starting.
Yeah.
Oh, two
Or
facts.
if it goes-
Yeah.
Or if it goes too fast.
Yeah. I think Garthis is just gonna make some vultures and try to end it.
I mean,
Yeah, no.
you gotta give it to him. He's got
I'm-
balls.
True.
Yeah, but I scouted it.
Yeah, when you scout like the 14 CC, if you when you get lucky like that, it's just
And you cowered at his balls of steel. Got it.
true. We didn't take into account the required 30 seconds that Garthis had to take his hands off his keyboard to go, oh my god, 14 CC. I mean, there's a bunker. Marine is not
One
going
Marine?
into the bunker, but
Now with
Wouldn't it be
Queens.
ironic if the TVT winds up being the shortest game?
well, it would have to beat the ZVZ that was less than 6 minutes. So
Okay. Well, second shortest game?
I mean, we already had a pretty short TVT. Like, this was like 10 or 12 minutes or so
mm,
in Group A.
Yeah, but we can do better.
all right. Flipendo's asking in the chat. So is 14 CC theoretically defendable, or is it a complete gamble if your opponent knows that it's coming?
I don't think it's a complete gamble, but it can be rough. I mean, if you get a bunker and Marines. I mean, you really get a problem if the other Terran cheeses and goes like 8 Gregs or even BBS or something like this, then you just die, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
But it,
wouldn't it be
maybe I'm
better
wrong.
if you're going fast CC like this to go tanks? Because you've got no intention of making more vultures than your opponent.
I think tanks are probably the answer. Because tanks shut down vultures pretty quickly, unless they get
Because-
mines on top.
Because if you're going CC first and then you start going vultures and your opponent just does a normal build and makes a bunch of vultures, they can run into your base, just roll you over with more vultures. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably. But you have.
Speaking
at
of
least-
vultures,
Oh, no.
No! Oh no!
oh
now
no!
You don't have a
Oh
bunker.
no! One vulture down, so that's not good. Completely for free. And Garthis has a siege tanks building, so yeah.
I feel like he could just dive those vultures in and then just like target down all of his vultures.
Wait, the Marine killed the vulture? Oh, nice.
sure.
Hey, that's
get
kill
him a
stealing.
bike.
I'd like to report that Marine for kill stealing.
I feel like he gets what's coming to him, but I can't remember.
Alright, the siege tank is starting to make its way over. You know, honestly, even with that really fast CC, the SCV difference isn't even that big. It's only 6 for how fast Imp took that CC. Especially when you like consider the army size difference and the tech that Garthis was able to get.
Yeah.
This, if you can keep up this campaign long enough to really fortify it, then oof.
Yeah, you gotta fortify that residential zone.
Yeah. I think Garthis' siege mode is also finished, so
Yeah,
But if you have-
gonna.
there we go.
siege and win.
Oh,
There you go.
those vultures just evaporated.
Oh, man, and there's the GG
Oh.
from him.
I definitely think siege first would have been the way to go. Because
Yeah.
like if he just had tanks in the high ground, he's probably fine.
Oh.
Also, maybe if he has Star Force, then he can just kill those things.
Okay, well that was all of Group C.